That's funny. That's what happens when you're enjoying life, right?
Dude, this will be an epic show. I know we don't want to jump into it. We got some pre stuff that we got to get to, but I do want to point out the one thing where she got a puppy on her lap.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. You all going to get caught up in about 30 seconds, but she got a puppy on her lap.
We didn't even get to explain security.
I know.
So
yeah.
we'll
paparazzi's running around, security's at the door who just got back off a vacation themselves.
Yeah, security's all fired up these last couple nights. So any noise
I can only imagine
going off.
It's that time of the year. It's football, but we got to go back, dude, because this has been a rough week. Again, two childhood friends or two schoolmates that I went to school with passed away this week.
What?
Yeah. One was connected with football. We'll talk about it. Angel Hartzell. She passed away Monday, I believe. She had some stage 4 cancer.
Football.
For youth football.
Houston?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she came out for 1 year and then she left to go to MC.
Okay.
And then a neighborhood kid of mine, Bobby Dorsey, passed away unexpectedly. And
I saw some posts about
it. And it just kind of like it just bringing everything together. We're only 47 years old, right? I mean, but you just never know. And then of course, I know I apologize for this one, rather. Listen, I'm not a Dodger fan, but everyone's a baseball fan. And whenever you hear Vin Scully's voice, like it's time for Dodger baseball.
Exactly.
So
TFDB.
I know that's a tough one.
And I'm a huge, those of you that know me, there it is. There's my LA with my Orshizer and then Kobe before he passed away.
Yeah. So much respect, and you could see that one kind of coming, but
dude, nobody can touch Vin.
Not at all.
I'm partial because
I'm a Giants fan, bro, and I'm throwing respect. I posted it today.
Respect to the Giants for hosting. Last night they hosted the little tribute before the game. So
he's a baseball voice. I know you guys got to get him,
but he's different than any other announcer
by far.
First off, longevity, and nobody else spoke or was the voice of a team that transcended
60,
baseball,
right? 60 years?
Yeah, something like that.
He was,
but he saw Jackie Robinson,
dude.
I mean, that.
And you need to go watch
baseball.
That movie, that 42.
Oh yeah,
which I'm sure, of course, doesn't do its justice, right? I mean, it is what it is.
Was part of all that, right? So that's what's cool. And he's seen pitchers like Sandy Koufax. I mean, Kershaw,
dude. To sit down and to go through all that. Now you're just gonna have to go back on video and
well, you just miss all his stories.
Yeah. Speaking of stories, right? And I know we still got an intro to do real quick.
Yep.
But speaking of stories, man, this is one of those ones where if you miss it, please go back and watch it. Go follow these people. We're not going to get there yet. But we're going to tell us
talking about today's guest.
Yes.
Okay. Keep me in line.
Yeah.
I got to know where we're at sometimes.
Yeah. We got music.
By the way,
up.
It's National White Wine Day, so we might be both drinking.
Well, is it white wine? It's also IPA. I think it's like
sorts of days.
Yeah,
but in this house, it's wine. So,
dude, I'm just a guest. I'm just a guest in the studio today. I'm just a guest in the studio.
We just got to get a better backdrop, so you don't have the beach stuff.
I love it. No, I dig it.
Rachel did say she's sorry for your loss.
Oh, thanks,
Rachel. Appreciate you, Rachel.
Another epic human being that's on earth.
Amazing.
Rachel Marchbanks is legit.
Hope.
Hope. HOPE, girl.
There you go.
Do your thing. And now it's time for Contagion Effect Podcast.
Is that how it goes?
That's how it should go for now on.
Is that how
that's gonna be our tribute to Vin?
All right. Well, let's get a little Scotty Hastings going.
Absolutely,
because we appreciate him. So here you go.
Yeah, the times and places they may change, but one thing stays the same. The stories that they tell about going through hell. If you think they wouldn't do it all over again, well, you just don't know them. The memories that they own of the ones who didn't make it home, yeah, sure do miss them, but they keep them all living in the stories that they tell.
Dude, again, I can listen to it all day.
All day.
Hey, before we move on to our wonderful guest,
Yes.
we have a couple items we need to mention.
House cleaning.
House cleaning, yes. Number one, we're probably going to remove the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Because we want to move everybody to YouTube. We want you to move to YouTube to watch us.
So y'all know, so we're in California, Central California, and they're always doing construction. So this is one of those little detours.
Yeah.
Kind of like Merced County's got the detour.
We're going to shut off the Facebook page.
We're merging this way.
Exactly.
We're just trying to streamline some things. I think it'll be good for us. I really do.
Well, it be better because there's more value in YouTube.
Well, plus Facebook's doing some goofy stuff anyways, right?
I mean, they already removed our podcast.
Right.
You can no longer load your podcast to there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The other thing is, due to a schedule change,
that's me.
Due to a schedule change, we will be moving to Sunday nights at about the 6 p.m. hour again.
Sunday night.
And we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes.
Hopefully there's no good football games on Sunday nights.
That's what we'll see how Sunday at 6 goes, but it is going to be what it's going to be because schedules
at least for the next 6 months.
We just have to work around schedules.
It is. And again, this is our therapy. This is what we do it for. We were not in the military service. We did not serve. But the great thing that we do is we give the platform to the past 30. This is the 32nd episode. So the past guests that we've had on, much appreciated. Love everybody. Try to support and share as much as I can.
And excited to start on the next one.
Oh man, I'll tell you what.
Starting right now.
Yeah. So this is a big one. Again, you know, my dad, I don't say step because I met him when I was 12 years old. So my dad died of suicide, and that's a big thing. He was in the military. Complications of being in the military, in the Navy, in a submarine. Contributed to some of the aspects. Did I know what was going on? I could see the way he was conducting himself, or the way the different apparatuses he needed to continue with life.
Mm-hmm.
But in the small picture, I didn't look at the big picture, right? A very proud man, a very, again, military guy.
Which is why I think the direction he chose.
Yeah. And that's
so proud.
Yeah. And being, Papa Tom, affectionately known as bitch. That was the family thing. That's bitch, all that, affectionately known as that.
Oh my goodness.
To me, it's a shock, but it wasn't a shock. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, as I'm looking through things, I keep seeing this 22 Mohawks. Get a hold of Sergeant Dunn and the jerky, and 22 Mohawks is part of it. And I look at Valhalla, and I see that they're doing something with 22 Mohawks. So I go on 22mohawks.com, and there is a ton of stuff.
Yes.
So without further ado, I would love to introduce to you Dave Camposano, founder, president, and Stacy Ann, CEO of 22 Mohawks. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, y'all?
Mike, Eric, thanks for having us on. I really appreciate it. I love your energy. It's you guys are on the West Coast. It's a little bit earlier than we are. But.
Yeah, we got 3 hours behind you, so we still have some energy.
Okay, I think I'm on West Coast time.
Yeah.
I think with our podcast that we've had, out of the 32, I want to say like 65 to 71%.
71,
not 70, 71.
Okay.
Is East Coast, or from at least Tennessee east.
At least from Central Time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Central Time Zone. Time Zone to the East Coast.
Again, we appreciate the time.
Yes.
We know it's a little bit different, because in our world, the sun's still up and kids are starting football practice right now, right?
Right.
86% of statistics are made up on the spot.
In this case, it's 100. Thank you for saying that, though, Dave. That was awesome.
Because I think
great.
I think it was the twinkle in my eye, right? That literally Red Bull bullshit.
The bullshit center's just going blah 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 blah. That is great. This is gonna be even better.
Yeah,
I love Dave already. Calling you out. That is perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Eric, I've been hearing about you guys for a couple months now.
Yeah.
So getting you finally getting you guys here is absolutely awesome. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you for staying up late for us.
Thank you for your guys' service. So I want to jump in because I know this is going to go a little over an hour. So we're going to jump right into how it became 22 Mohawks, right? What let's start with your service first of all. What did you do service wise? Where were you at?
So we'll start with you, Dave. Where'd you?
Oh yeah.
Did you? I mean, obviously you served, I believe.
Yeah. So I did 16 years in the Army. I was in various light infantry units, deployed with the 10th Mountain Division and with the 2nd Battalion, 14th Infantry, and the Reconnaissance Platoon. Went to Ranger School, got my Ranger tab, Airborne School. Went through the Special Forces Qualification course, hurt my back. Did some time in the 82nd Airborne Division. So I've been, a bunch of different units. Deployed for the Global War on Terror, and that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So where was your out of country time? Were you Iraq, Afghanistan, a little bit of both?
Unfortunately, I never made it to Afghanistan, so it'll always be a regret of mine. But I was in the streets of Iraq.
Okay, what cities were you? I mean, we obviously know what we know from the media, and there's more going on. But where were you?
I was in Beladiat, which is it neighbors Sauda City.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we just ran our patrols out of that area. Route Irish, the big names, the big name streets and stuff.
So none of Saddam's houses you come across?
Yeah, we did. We went to one of Saddam's houses. It was a pretty interesting fact about Saddam's houses. I'm sure a lot of people know it, but he stopped the water. I think he has like 7 or 12 palaces or something like
right.
that. He stopped the water in the country of Iraq so he could take all the water and surround his palaces with water, because I guess in their religion or whatever, if your house is surrounded by water, you can't sin. Like, you're exempt from sin.
Huh.
You can do whatever you want, and when you die, it doesn't matter.
I need to get a backhoe. I'll be right back. I need to get a backhoe.
Well, River Point does have water.
Run the river
it.
right back over to Harbor Drive. I'll be right back.
Yeah, it's
wow.
That's well.
And if
it
you didn't know,
work
now
out
you
very
know.
well for him.
No, well, of course not.
We'll see.
How
about Stacy? Did you serve?
No, I didn't serve.
No. Oh, hey, that's fair.
No, but she has a good. She's got a good pedigree, and she's got some cool little letters and then behind her name.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to help bring that out.
I believe she'll let us know what they are.
I think I read your fiance's getting ready to get married.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
We're engaged. Yeah.
Okay. So when's the date?
Stacy?
We're gonna jump out of planes and do it.
Yeah. So we actually, one of our events is in Denellen, Florida. And we bring 10 veterans down, and they get an abbreviated airborne school, Army Airborne School. It's static line jumping. So the big thing is that we actually get to jump out of the same plane that they used to jump into Normandy, the 82nd used.
Wow.
Super like historic bird.
Oh,
yeah.
And we connected with the people down there. So I was, getting the strength to ask Stacy to marry me, and I asked them if I could proposed to her on the plane. Now, she wasn't jumping, but she got on the plane before me. And when I jumped, they manifested me the last guy off, so I'd be the first one on. So right before we jumped, I went and asked her to marry me on the plane.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna try to get married on that same plane if they allow us to. But.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So we need to go back to Stacy. So you have a bunch of you're certified in quite a few different things. Do you want to expand on that?
So I don't know what it says on there. So I have background in like NLP, different kind of. I do a coaching course outside of this as well for women's self-worth and things like that on side of this. But Dave and I got teamed up in this when he did. Well, I'll let him go into the story about how he started it. But there was Mohawks involved, and I got a Mohawk. But Dave and I went to high school together also, so we graduated high school together.
Nice.
Junior high school.
Where'd you guys go to school?
Norwood High.
Okay. Where are you in a suburb of Boston, or where you guys at?
We're right outside Boston.
Okay.
Yep. Probably like 30 minutes south of Boston right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's selling herself a little short, first of all.
Okay. Is she?
Yeah.
You can remember everything.
I'm gonna help her out here a little bit.
Okay.
ISEI.
The social and emotional intelligence.
Yeah, see, there you go, right? Facilitator, certified NLP practitioner. I don't know what NLP stands for.
Well, I'm learning all these letters.
Yeah.
So.
Programming.
Yeah. I think I've never done this, and I want to, and I think it's probably the next step for me is the energy healer.
Ooh. Oh,
I think that would be fun. Yeah. Plus, she's an author.
An author.
Yeah. And holds an associate's degree in applied science also, by the way. So
you're literally doing
the most important role that
and
I have.
And a mom of a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old, 10-year-old.
She's 11 now. She's 11 now.
11.
Okay, so this was written a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically you're doing nothing. All right, we got it.
Yeah, copy that.
Yeah. Just hanging out. All right. No, so I mean, both of you, like you have the backgrounds, right? So I guess Dave, right? How did 22 Mohawks come to fruition?
Yeah, in 2020, I got the news that 3 of my friends had taken their own lives by suicide, and we're all in the same platoon. And they didn't all die in the same time, but I found out about them all at the same time, and I was shocked. So the biggest one was John Hatfield. Him and I spent a good 18 months together in the 82nd, and we were both injured. But I was a staff sergeant, so we worked in ops together, and he was with me every day. And every day he would be, oh man, Sergeant, this sucks. Like my life sucks. He was a physically fit guy, but you could tell he was down. And in the military, it's like, it's fine. I got you, man. Like, suck it up a little bit. We'll square you away. But then I ended up getting out, and I forgot about him. I just kind of went and did my own thing, went to school, went to work and stuff, and forgot about him. And then when I found out that he died by suicide, it really hit me hard because I felt guilty, like it was my fault. Like, how could I not have checked up on him as a leader, even after the fact? And he left his wife, his family, his son. So that really sparked the 22 Mohawks thing. So 22, the high average of number of veterans who take their lives every day. We all know that number. And I was trying to think of something that could bring attention to the cause, right? 22 suicides a day. And I thought about the Ice Bucket Challenge. Remember the Ice Bucket Challenge?
ALS. ALS. Yep.
So I was like, hey, I'll throw a Mohawk on my head, post a picture on social media, and say, hey, if I get more Mohawks, you hashtag 22 Mohawks, I'll donate $100 per Mohawk to a larger charity, which was Mission 22, right? So I ended up getting like 50 Mohawks in a week, and it was like females were doing it, kids were doing it, dudes were doing it. It was just dogs were doing it. It was awesome, right? So I ended up like donating, I think like $2,000 to Mission 22, and I realized maybe I'm onto something here, right?
Yeah.
But it all stemmed from John. Right. And then, a couple months went by, and I was speaking to my good buddy of mine, Travis, who was a sniper in my platoon, Ranger qualified. I was talking to him about suicide awareness and the 22 Mohawks. And he's like, yeah, that's great, kid. He always like made fun of my accent. He's like, yeah, kid, that's awesome. The dude he's such a good dude. And then he ended up passing away too. And, the details behind it are a little blurry, but I won't go into it. But then it was like, wow, I need to really do something, because I was literally talking to the kid. So that made me create a website. So, you think of a business plan to get thing off the ground, to get attention to it. And I was like, hey, what am I going to do? What's going to be my business? Like, what am I going to do? So
right.
Obviously service dogs, right?
Yeah.
It takes 2 years for the VA to train a service dog, and it costs like $25,000. So I'm like, well, vets need dogs. So when I designed the website, I was like, that's going to be one of my services. Veterans, you can get dogs, right? Within a day of launching the website, I got a call from Mcgee, and he's like, Dave, I can't make it through another winter. It's like, I need a dog. And I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I don't have, how am I going to get a dog?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I like threw it on there, right? And I'm like, drove down to the local shelter, bought a dog, picked up Stacy, drove to the kid's house, gave him a dog, right? It's like, we make it happen for our people, whether it's money, whether it's dogs, whether it's clothes, whether it's a hug. We make it happen for our people, and that was just my mentality, and I wasn't going to fail this kid. So so this is the best part. So Mike lives down Cape Cod. He knows a lot of people. So he posted that he had a dog he needed training, which Professional Canine Services, Charlie Young and Patrick Martin, our trainers, our partners now. He introduced us to them, but he posted on social media like, hey, I need a trainer. They reached out to him. They're like, we're going to give you free training.
Oh,
because
wow.
you're going to read that. We got you. And then he introduced them to us. And now we're partnered with them. So they source the dogs for us. They train the dogs for us. And the motto is save a dog to save a vet, because we're saving dogs from, not all kill shelters, but a lot of kill shelters, right?
Right.
And then if we save that pup, we give the pup a purpose, we give it to the vet, we give the vet a purpose. And, there's a lot deeper than that, but that's kind of how it all really got started. But we have our core. My first event was the parachute event, which is all done by lottery. Mm-hmm. So throughout the year, we have people say, yeah, they sign up for the events. And then 2 weeks before the event, I draw names. It's usually, I say 10 names, but I end up pulling everybody's name because I can't not pull everybody's name. Yeah. And then we all parachute our planes for a day. We have a party after, and the connections that we create are huge because a lot of people fly in from out of state. I had a woman fly in from Arizona, and she stayed at my house. She stayed on my couch. She's a military person, so she was like, "Whatever, Dave, I trust you."
Yeah.
Stayed on my couch, and then one of her dad had taken his own life, and then her dad's best friend came, and he was there too. He flew from Virginia. And we have those connections now. Like we're connected to these people forever. So
real quick, I want to back up to professionalcanineservices.com. That's not a link, but that is what it is. Middleborough, Massachusetts. Go check it out. Professionalcanineservices.com. There's a link on your page, and we'll put one on ours after the show. We'll get that on there. That's just a shout out there.
I do want to ask though, on next to professional, then it has 22 Mohawks professional canine services with a beautiful little logo there with the Mohawk. And is that so you guys started your own, or is this just a piece of both of those?
That's our collaboration logo. So 22 Pups for Vets program. Like that's our program's logo that like incorporates both of us together.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I love that logo.
Yeah. That's a dope logo.
That is it.
Thanks.
That's one that needs to go on a shirt, right?
I was just gonna say, why don't I scroll through this
along with all the other stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Stacy, with going back in 2009, unfortunately was when your father took his life. Is that go through some of the emotions getting with Dave and helping facilitate this thing? Just kind of give a little
excerpt.
Thank you. Sorry.
Question. Back then, it's like I had no idea that would turn into something like this because prior to that, I didn't. There's nobody besides my father that I really actually had a personal connection with that had lost somebody like that. Yeah. So when Dave posted about the Mohawks challenge or whatever, I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting a Mohawk, right? So my hair was kind of short, and I had to spray tan out and all kinds of gel trying to get because I spiked it, and it was like a punk traditional Mohawk more than like there's pictures of it up there somewhere. So I was like, yeah, I'm doing this, And he and I had always stayed connected via social media and things like that. And when my dad passed, he was sick, and a lot of things come up with a lot of medications they put people on and different things. He had an alcohol problem. So a lot of these things, like the side effects literally are like suicide, right? Yeah. Especially if you're drinking alcohol on these medications that are so readily prescribed and there's no real background to, are you an alcoholic? Are you this? It's like, here's this, and that's the side effects. And, so these things can happen. But people don't really look into that. So there was a lot of pieces to his death, but really you can't, when you're trying to help somebody and you go back, like David said, he thought he should have reached out to his buddies, or it's like, it's such a hard place to be because, sometimes you can be right there doing everything. Yeah. It's that moment that, you missed it. And then, things can happen. So I think really, I've always had a passion for helping people and volunteering and just doing things like that. And so being able to do this and help other people to, find purpose in their life so that they don't want to take their own life is just really something I am blessed to be able to do and give back like that to these guys. And especially when you start to learn deeper into like what veterans and these people who have served, the deeper stuff that goes behind it. And there's so much to it. And just really being able to give back on that area is great. Yeah.
Well, and I think one of the things, and we definitely, and I know Dave and Stacy, you probably come across it, but as you talk to the different generations of veterans, right? We always talk about, And last week we had a Vietnam vet that shared everything.
Yeah.
But when you come across Vietnam, like World War II vets, will usually share. I mean, if you're lucky enough to meet one, which we've been lucky enough to meet a couple. Vietnam vets don't want to talk about anything, right? Then you start going into Iraq and Afghanistan, and what I've noticed is it's definitely person by person, but we don't understand the things you've seen, Dave. You know, the media can show us stuff and the movies can have stuff, but that's all glamorized. You see real stuff and people don't understand how that truly affects you. And I couldn't even begin to understand because I haven't lived it, right?
Yeah, right.
So I think that's what makes you a great proponent, because I mean you've seen some things.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you go overseas, you do see things. You see violence. You see, you know, it's a different world over there, right? People just don't value life as much as we do,
right?
You know, you listen to some of the stories of the firefighters that you know, on September 11th, right, when they were going into the building, and you noticed like all these like brown thing or black things like all around, and then they realized after the fact that it was like burning bodies on the ground, right? Like you almost don't see it because it just doesn't seem real at first, and you just like your mind's just like shutting it out, and then after the fact you're like, oh shit, that's pretty bad, you know?
Well, I was on my way over, and I was one of my shop stewards called, and we were talking. And he was in Afghanistan, and he was interested in this specific one, right? I've been talking it up since, you know, we put it together, and he's like, man, he goes, you can't explain what you see there, because even just going on a website and seeing, you know, dead bodies or this or that, the kid thing, that, you know, you go into a village and there's kids with ARs and rocket launchers, and like they're going to pull the trigger. You know, like it's at a point, it's your life or their life, you know, and then you're taking the life of a kid, but it's survival, you know? So that's stuff that we don't see every day. I mean, we can talk to 100,000 more guests, but we'll never get that full feeling of it, you know?
Well, it's that moral injury, right?
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh shit, I have to do this to save my team. You know, the question's always like, let's say you're in a hide site or something, and you've been there for days, and all of a sudden some little kid stumbles upon your hide site with no weapon, right? And he sees you, and you know, and he runs, and you know he's going to go tell the bad boys.
Right.
Do you kill the kid?
Yeah. I mean,
By the way, Carlos said thank you for your service.
Carlos is Army vet.
Oops. And then also he said it's sad that they're taught that way, right? I mean, you just went through it, Dave. Now the amazing thing for me is, you know, I know there's you know, we appreciate the work you guys are doing, but we need you, you know, 30,000 fold, 40,000 fold, right?
Across the whole US.
It's and that's the hard part, you know. I like when I saw the 22 Mohawks, without knowing, when Eric shared it, without knowing the backstory, I knew the minute you hear 22, if you're in this world, you know what that means. And I was stoked. I just ordered a few shirts from Till Valhalla, which I saw you guys are now part of, like, you know, partners with. And I have the 22 shirt. And then I had to finally get my red shirt because I don't wear red. And I'm like, no, now from now on, every Friday, rocking my red. Right.
So they raised what was over $2,000, right? Till Valhalla, you guys partnered up and raised over $2,000.
Yeah. We got fortunate. We actually met Corey on our way down to Florida to do our static line jump with our veterans, and he took us on a tour of his shop, his t-shirt company, and him and his wife did. And you know, he's from Rhode Island, and good guy, and he had called us a couple weeks later, you know, just talking about business stuff, and he wanted to know more about our program, and he was like, hey, I want to sponsor a dog. So he ended up sending us a check to pay for a dog for a specific vet that we had coming up.
That's awesome.
And then after that, he was like, you know, this is really cool. He's like, I'd love to do a t-shirt for you. What do you think? So, you know, he designed it, he put it together for us, and got it sent out. And I think it was about 6,000 shirts he sent out, which is really,
and on TikTok right now, the dog shirts are like what they're pumping out is the dog shirt right now is what you're seeing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Because every time they pop up on my TikTok, it's that new dog shirt they have.
Oh, that's a great shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
so
shirt, yeah.
There may be an email that was sent to Tell Valhalla. It just hasn't. It just hasn't been returned yet.
They're becoming big. I don't know if we'll.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
you
never know, right?
Radar.
You never know.
Right.
Corey's a really smart guy.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
I really like him a lot.
Yeah. We'll have to talk.
Now, what's your, in building this, and I know it's probably this has turned into more than you ever thought it would, right? I mean, you just started by, hey, I'm gonna put on a Mohawk, and now look what's happening.
I figured I'd be doing a Mohawk once a year and have a jump or something, and now it's just, you got your people who care about vets like us, right? We love our vets, right. We protect our vets, we know their mental, the PTS that they have going on. But then you have your dog lovers, the people who want to help dogs and save dogs, and then that combination is just a recipe for just like bringing people together and caring about people. And let me tell you, it's when you help somebody out and actually see something that you've done physically, the action that you've done, it really, really helps someone out. You can see it in their face. I mean, that shit's contagious. Like people are just like, we want to be a part of this. We want to help out. And it's like, it's never about us. It's always, I've learned that right now I have to always remind people of the message, Right. The message is, the mission, the men and me, like the book, right? It's like, you gotta focus on the mission, which is helping veterans and not worrying about anything else. And if you do that and you bring others up, they're gonna pay it forward, and good things are gonna happen to us too if we do that. If you're too worried about yourself and something else, it's just not gonna go anywhere for you.
Yeah, we will do this together. It's a great slogan. Mm-hmm. I do want to bring this up. When we first started talking, giving just a little backstory about Tom, and you guys sent this out to me, and it's awesome. So I want to
and the camera can't even do enough for you, because there's things you just can't see as well as seeing it in person.
Every time I look at it, I catch something new. Before I didn't see the message in the back, right? I didn't see the little part here, the Mohawk part, and this will be special. This will definitely be framed and hung up. It's gonna be hung up at Nana Penny's first.
Get it.
Yeah, well, if Uncle Danny lets her put a nail in the wall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so actually that piece, as I had mentioned before, we did the Savage Wonder Festival with some great guys that run the Vet Rep Theater, and they had a gentleman, Angelo Robertson, who was going to be doing artwork for this event, and he wanted to do something meaningful, and he and I started talking, and I was like, let's do he wanted to use our logo into something, and I'm like, let's do 22 pieces with this print that you're making. We'll buy the pieces from you, and we'll put a picture somehow of 22 different veterans that have died by suicide, and he was like, yeah, this is great. So the whole thing is on his Instagram page, like the unfolding of it and how he made it and the depth that went behind it. But the back newspaper article there is from a base in Alaska, the Alaska Army base that had the highest number of active duty military personnel that have taken their own lives.
Oh wow,
it's a huge story. Just the numbers there were insane.
Is it? I mean, have they found any correlation? I mean, you're way out there. There's nothing else to do.
22 hours of daylight.
Yeah,
you have to have
literally, that's what everybody says.
Everything, yeah.
So there's got to be something real about that statement.
Yeah, because here we are talking about the mission and going out and taking care of your job, and then on top of living.
I'd be interested in the statistics of the people who actually live there too.
I think we may have another podcast. Another idea right there.
Yeah,
but it would be interesting to see how the population there. I mean, obviously, some of them grown up. When you're a child, it just becomes part of life. But when you're somebody who's used to living in our world and you get moved somewhere like there, I mean, it's even taking you guys and putting you in the middle of a desert. Where just sand is terrible, and you choose to go to the beach. You don't choose to just be in sand 24/7, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
So I can imagine just that. I mean, it's like the people in Washington and Oregon have some pretty high suicide rates for just normal population, for civilian population due to rain, right? And how much they're stuck in due to it. So
I want to give a couple shout outs to a few of the support group that 22 Mohawks has. Michael Mcgee, who is the event coordinator for you guys, just scrolling through some of the events you have coming up. Wow. The one that kind of caught me was how much how there's something for everyone and there's always something to do. August 14th, can you talk a little bit about fishing with rifles to rods?
Fishing with rifles to rods.
Yeah.
So a buddy of ours who actually helps us with the parachuting events, Colton Martin, he connected us with Rifles to Rods. So that's a veteran group as well.
Oh, okay.
They offered to take out 24 vets on the boat to do like deep sea fishing, and then after they're gonna take us all out for for lunch and to bring our spouses and stuff. So it's like 6 hours of deep sea fishing. Boat leaves at like 9 a.m. or something, and we 5:45, so 05:45 2 military types, and it's it's going to be a lot of fun. So those guys are really good guys for offering to do that for us, but and again, Colton Martin, he's another one. He helped us with the airborne tandem parachute, and he's just like, hey, this is awesome. He's like, let me help you out too. So he connected us.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about, before you go into the next event that I know is the next day, right?
Yeah.
But Michael Mcgee, we heard that name earlier, right? He was the first guy that you kind of got the connection with the dog, right?
That's right. So Mike Mcgee, he was a former Marine. He lives in Cape Cod now. I think I said this, how he connected us with Professional Canine Services.
Yeah.
And it went more than that. So he connected us with them, and then he created 22 Canine motorcycle ride, which is going to be an annual event in May. And we did the first one in May down Dennis and Sandwich, Massachusetts. And we had over 300 riders. And I guess, I don't know, but everyone said that is an epic number for a first event.
Oh, wow.
And then after, we had a big party at one of these pubs down in Dennis. And he created it. He put that together. And it's like every week he calls me with like a write-up of something that he wants to put together. There's some stuff in the works. I'm not going to go into it now, but it's like one of those things where, you think about it, it's like, Mike called me. He's like, Dave, I'm not going to make it through another winter, man. He's like, I need a companion.
Oh.
Who knows if we didn't help him? Who knows what would happen? And now we did. And now it's like a created purpose for Mike.
Yeah. Well, and now he's part of the team, right?
Yeah,
and so now he knows what he was going through, so now he can share when he talks to other veterans, and it just I know he's an event coordinator, but he still has that real life piece to go along with him.
Absolutely, and I mean, now he's creating purpose for hundreds of more people just because that one. I'm going to call it an action of kindness. That's literally all it is.
Amazing. That's just such a cool story. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. Just give me time.
So we had the
so on the 14th, deep sea fishing, 5:45. We got the correct time.
5:45.
5:45. Yeah. And then April. I knew I was going to do that. August 15th, Brookside Meadow Country Club in Canton, Massachusetts.
That's right.
A golf tournament. That looked fun. I used to golf, but this looks fun. Like this would be one of those cool day out, just hanging out.
Well, you'd be supporting. Who cares about what the golf looks like?
Yeah.
You're out supporting.
Just go out and
have fun.
Go out, cruise around.
Sorry, I shouldn't say who cares with the golf. I'm sure there's people that care. Like, it's not
the
me.
bigger picture, right?
So that was Rachel. Rachel put that together. So Rachel's one of our. She's a boss. She's a hard worker. She is so solo. She has an idea. She's like, can we do it? We approve it. And she just runs with it. And then halfway through, she's like, this is where we're at. And then right towards the end, she's like, this is where we're at. And then she just tells us what to do when it happens. I mean,
I love looking at her degrees too, and thinking now what she's doing doesn't even, it's.
Well, she's a real estate agent, like a local real estate agent. And she's really? A bar. Yeah. So she's a boss. We love Rachel.
And yet she majored in criminology and sociology.
Yeah.
Smart girl.
Yeah.
She ain't
Rachel
playing.
L. public relations
That's
director.
right.
And then Iman Koffel,
Yep, she
director of
does it all.
networking. I just want to give a shout out to some
My
of the
name
team
comes-
members you guys have. And
Real quick about Iman.
What was
Iman's he's a local police officer. He's a stud.
Okay.
He actually connected us with Till Valhalla, so he was the point of contact for them. He's like a
nice.
networking guru. That guy. We love having him around, and everybody loves him. His presence is just amazing. He's a published author. He writes for the Havoc Journal. He's been published a bunch of times, and I think he's in the middle of writing another book. So he's a really smart guy, and
and a police officer still.
Value add for our team.
And he's a police officer still.
Police officer. Yep, he's on SWAT, Boston SWAT.
Wow. Oh,
Yep.
Wow. So was he on SWAT during that little that incident a couple years ago?
In 2000,
the bombing.
I think he was still on active duty then. To be
Okay.
honest, so
I mean, craziness.
yeah, he just enlisted in the Army after 9/11.
Yeah. No, but he's still a police officer.
07.
Oh, Boston. Did I say something else? I
No,
say
you said Boston.
Yeah.
I thought.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Is there anything other than Boston?
Well, there's
No.
wasn't it Watertown, and there's
That's right, Watertown.
and then what's the town that's all over the movies for that Ben Affleck and all them.
Chester.
Cambridge, Dorchester,
Worcester.
Southie,
Well-
Southie.
There he is, Southeast.
Southeast.
It's Southeast if you're a Southie, right? It's
Charlestown.
what?
Commercial.
Commercial. Oh, so speaking of
Yeah.
real estate, I do real esestate, and our one,
We have one
sponsor is a lender. So we're gonna roll out to our commercial real quick before
Awesome.
because we could talk to you guys all night.
Yeah.
This is
Cool.
gonna be interesting. And I do want to make sure we share their website, their Facebook, their IG.
Yep.
I have all that put together, so we'll make sure we share it all because we want to show you guys all the love due to the love you're sharing with
Awesome.
all the veterans out there. So we'll jump into this and then we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Now for our sponsor, Tamara Polito with the Finance Group, where they're creating a future where everyone has access to the loan and home they love. Whether you're a veteran, law enforcement, a first-time home buyer, you're up or downsizing, or even if you need to just refinance, our community deserves proficiency and expertise. Better rates, faster close, welcome home. Tamara Polito, NMLS 1655776. Again, that's Tamara Polito, and her phone number is 209-204-3795. There we go. See, we had to talk it through. Sorry, I should have told you it was 37 seconds.
Yeah,
See?
30
No,
seconds.
no worries. No worries.
It's all good. It's all good. So thank you, Tamara.
Thanks, Tam.
So you guys have a great team in place, right? What are and I know sometimes we have aspirations of where we want to take this and what you want to do, and maybe you want to share some, maybe you don't. But what's one of your next steps that you guys want to take when you're building this plan and growing this now, because it's already grown, I feel, exponentially beyond where you originally planned. What's next?
I mean, we're fortunate that I served 16 years in the Army, so I have like a lot of connections from friends that I served with. But I have more than a handful of people who have reached out from a bunch of different states that have volunteered to do things, right? So one of the next things that we're trying to do is, one, we want to get the dog program implemented places, which it's not that it's hard to do. We just need someone to actually want to put in the time, right? So get trainers, get dogs, and then just kind of post about it. But the second thing is one of my long-term goals is to have every Labor Day weekend, we have our core parachute jump, which is a tandem jump. And we want to have 10 jumpers in every state to jump for suicide awareness on Labor Day by 2025. So every Labor Day, every state is going to represent veteran suicide awareness and do a tandem parachute jump for it, right? That's one of the big things that we have in the works. We both work full time here, so it's kind of hard to get stuff coordinated, but that's our big thing. We want to take it across the U.S. We want to take it across the states, and I think doing an event like that is really cool. I think it would get a lot of
it'd be cool to like if you could get everybody to go live on the page too, and maybe you schedule it all during different hours and try to get it scheduled all different hours, like 22 hours of the day. I mean, that would probably be a little difficult across the country, but that would be cool.
I think they'd be happy with getting the 10 people.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to it.
Good idea, though. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like always up with the good ones.
But that would be, I mean, that's cool. One, I've seen
22 hours of parachuting brought to you by Contagion.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all that, but
where are you guys on?
it's your guys' thing. This is about the work you guys are doing.
We'll support you guys.
Contagion Effect's just a catalyst to make sure we push the message out and show love.
This is our platform for our therapy. That's what we do. I never went through therapy, so we get to talk about the things that we go through and see throughout the day and life and how we feel. And
and you obviously dealt with Tom. I mean, my dad, we just dealt with. My dad was a Marine Vietnam vet, and we dealt with a lot of VA issues, which was that. And we've actually had a couple of VA,
Rachel Marshbanks,
Rachel and Melvin, and who are beautiful people, just great stories, who served themselves. But the VA here in California definitely failed us, and it was a long fight. My dad eventually passed away of lung cancer, but he was part of Agent Orange, all that, and he had some rough things happen, but he luckily made it through. And
then finding programs, Paparazzi did a good job of fighting for what he was due,
his waiver. Because we end up where we live, every VA hospital is an hour and a half to 2 hours, and the main VA hospital is almost 4 hours because there's always traffic there going there. So we end up and Paparazzi's my wife, for those that don't know. But my wife actually called in and was just a pit bull and got them to give us a waiver to move his care to a local doctor. And then he actually got off oxygen. He got better. And then they came and pulled the waiver, and within a couple months he passed away. Because we went from like 4-hour chemo sessions to 10 minutes. I mean, I literally was, I think, I forget if it was my wife or me that went there the first chemo, and it was literally less than 10 minutes. And we were like, wait, we just came for 4 hours. Yeah. You're telling me, it's the same medicine. It's just, they do it a different way. I was like, that just doesn't make sense at all. So, it's definitely, there's different roads we all take, right? And that's why I love my veterans. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm a huge advocate of changing that 22 number and getting rid of 22 of it.
Yeah. Funny story about that is a buddy of mine came up to me in a restaurant one night and said, he was like, he was going to run an event for us. He was going to be the DJ at an event. And he said, Dave, I'm like, yeah, we'll make this an annual event. You can be the DJ for our event. And he said, Dave, yep. And then next year it'll be 21 Mohawks. And it just, it gave me the, goosebumps thinking about that comment. Cause it was just like, totally, like that's the whole purpose is to just bring it down.
Well, and I know Melvin mentioned the numbers closer to 17 right now, which is still 17 too many, but I know it hovers.
Yeah, I was going to say, unfortunately, it's probably one of those numbers that just, I mean,
it's unacceptable. The number, regardless of what it is, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. I do want to shout out the Instagram, which is 22.
I got it right here.
Okay, thanks.
We got it all. I got them all set, right?
I do love your page at 22mohawks.com. You have information for everyone, and there's little tidbits here of conviction. You must have conviction to persevere. Believing that you will weather the storm is just as important as doing it each day. We are a sounding board for conviction and strength. I think I added the A. But it's just little things like that, when you go through the day and you see the positive message. I'm getting older where I like to be positive, and it's hard for me to be around people that are negative all the time. So I love it. and you can go on here and go to different events that you have, the who you are, the about, all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you for taking some time to spend with us. We're not leaving nowhere. I know.
I do want to talk about their latest post on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I just want to show them that, how much we do appreciate everything that they do and what they've got going on here.
So we talked about the dogs, right? And then on Instagram, you guys had a power chair that was donated to you.
That's right.
So looking for a veteran that may need that, right? It's brand new. And
it is. Yeah. The chair is brand new. I think is dead because it was just sitting for so long. So we'll cover the cost of the battery once the veteran gets it if they need it.
I honestly think we probably should get you guys in touch. So we have an organization here called American Veterans First that's been on our show. We ended up meeting last week's guest there. They actually take these chairs, they refurbish them, and then give them back out to vets that need them.
Yeah. Also, then they go pick them up.
And they do a lot of this, but he's always looking for networking, across the country. His name's Duke Cooper. He's a Marine, retired Marine.
He got us in touch with our World War II veteran.
Yeah,
97-year-old.
Yeah, and I mean, he's got a there's a ballot initiative based on this World War II veteran, because there's 60,000 World War II veterans that have no benefit or have received no benefit. So they're trying to work on getting that resolved for the ones that are still around. So, good. But yeah, go check out their Facebook at 22 Mohawks and their IG at 22 Mohawks. And that post for the chair, if you know a veteran in need, whether it may be a dog or they just need to talk. I think you guys are there for all that. I don't want to take you out of your full-time jobs, but we would love to help you, meet some people out here, so then we can start to bridge that gap between, Massachusetts and California. Not all of us love being in California, but the weather's good, so
I like where I live.
Yeah.
We're 2 hours south of the state capital of California.
Yeah, but we're also an hour and a half away from beaches.
But we're 2 hours from snow, from ocean.
We literally have mountains within hours, beaches within hours, desert within hours. I mean, any climate you want is within hours, or we're in it. And where we're in the heart of almonds. So if you've eaten an almond, it's probably from
90.2%,
75%, and that's not a BS one, Dave. That's not a BS one.
I'm gonna check that one.
That's a real fact. We also do want to highlight their website, 22mohawks.com. Please, if you're in need of help, just check out this website. Obviously, you can reach out to us.
Yeah, we reach out, give you information, all that stuff.
They're doing amazing things.
Carlos Gomez just commented when you were talking about the motorcycle ride. He's the first one that I popped up to, and I'm not going to go into it because I off the top of my head, I know he'll post it. I can't remember exactly what the club is called, but he is always out doing something. He's a great guy. He's a great veteran.
Is this in River Point?
Yeah, okay. River Point with an E.
Is this
Carlos? Is this Carlos?
Yeah, Carlos. Yeah.
Appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you, sir.
He's awesome, man. He's
and where'd he serve? He served in Army as well.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, the best branch. I mean, the only branch.
Yeah.
It's always funny because this always comes up on our podcast.
It does.
They may be the greatest, but I mean, Air Force is like where it's at, man. Like, I want a hotel room with room service, and you know.
True. I have some buddies in the Air Force.
Hey, and that's hence why I'm trying to send my 17-year-old son into
we're
the
trying
Air
to get
Force.
him set up.
And look at Carlos at CVMA.
Yeah, no, that's So that's what we're saying, because Aiden is Mike's son wants. We're trying to persuade him the Air Force way.
I'm a Marine. I'm part of a Marine family, so I have the anchor and eagle and globe on my calf, right? But I will. I love the Marines. I respect the Marines.
That's
but it's I'm gonna send my son to the Air Force.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association.
Okay.
Chapter 33. Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, hey man, I'll pay for the fuel to get you back there.
Carlos, are they national, or is that just?
I think it's a local.
It's a California thing, or
again, don't want to comment.
Well, it'd be just cool to know. Well, he'll comment. He's doing a great job.
No. Yeah, appreciate it.
Awesome.
But man, again, amazing things happening. I hope, you know, I'll call Duke. And do you mind sharing I share your guys' number? Oh, you guys froze. Do you mind if I share your number with them and see if we can make some contact? And please then I just wouldn't recommend anybody jumping out of planes in Lodi.
Well, that's what. So I have a friend that does jump. He does solo jump. He was in the Marines also.
Okay.
Right. And so he was the first one I thought of, but I'm like, man, I don't know if he's jumped in a while because of all the things.
So we have an area where there's a lot of jumping and there's been a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So
I think the last one, I don't think they've been jumping out of Lodi.
No, I think they may have got shut down.
Yeah, there was
whatever it is.
It's so Lodi is actually, you know, if you're into wine, Lodi is a huge wine town, but they have a little airport that they have.
It's right next to the freeway.
It's literally where they land is right next to the freeway, and they've had people. Yeah, it's just been bad news probably the last few years.
Yeah.
So they may have got shut down now, but
yeah, we'll have to check into it. But hey, if you get that going, I'm sure we'll be able to find someone out here.
I know there's a lot of positivity and there's a lot of people doing it every day. So it's
a small percentage, probably like maybe 2.7% that, you know.
Unfortunately, gravity works too well for me, so you won't catch me doing it. But yeah,
I'd get going too fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We're big boys, and I mean,
gravity will pull us a little
mass
too fast.
Plus.
That whole thing won't work. So we'll leave it to you nice and fit people, and let you do it. So,
Stacy, any last comments you'd like to mention? Anything or any stories you'd like to bring up?
No, I'm grateful that you guys brought us on, and just, you know, anybody needing something, anything, purpose, just somebody to talk to, they can always reach out to us, even if they're not local. We have a lot of people. One of the things we find is like partnering with or just having resources of other nonprofits, other people out there doing this kind of stuff, no matter what it is. We have lots of people all over the place. So
now, have you guys, I know I came across it when we started this, I came across, there was an organization that does something with dogs, but I reached out and I don't think I got a response. So, and I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
But
I don't remember what it was.
Maybe they're just too big for us. But have you guys have reached out at any of the other organizations that are doing anything with dogs? Or
yeah, we try to reach out to some of the companies that actually do service dogs to try to connect with them, so we can do referrals and stuff. Like if somebody really needs a service dog, we can connect them. And then we've reached out to just some of the local dog places that like get dogs or dog breeders, so we can just have a secondary source for pups if we need them, you know.
Now, to be clear too, so this is for everybody, just not for my own knowledge. I mean, we're looking at adding our dogs because you can do emotional support dogs too, right? You can get your dog labeled as that. But with the service dogs, that's another level. Is there certain breeds you're looking for, and then when we're talking service dogs, because you see so many things. Like lately I came across a TikTok where the dog comes in and tells her blood sugar's too high or low, and hits her hand up or down, which is absolutely, they smell it from another room.
They know.
It's absolutely amazing. But are most of these service dogs for just the for the health, the mind health, I want to say.
Emotional support, yeah, is what they are. We call them the support dogs, right? So our pups, most of them are labs, lab mixes. We got them when they're puppies, and they're essentially just support dogs. But our trainers are pretty good. One of our guys got shot in the head, so he has like a limp, walk with a limp for the rest of his life. And they're training the dog to essentially act as a cane for this veteran.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty cool. Somebody we spoke to recently said that could be labeled as a service dog because it's actually working for a specific, ailment or service. But our trainers are pretty good at what they do. They just give lifelong training, because what that brings the veterans in, because they do training twice a month. So that brings our guys in, and then now they can network. So it goes from being, giving the dog from suicide awareness to actually suicide prevention, because now you regularly see people, they're holding you accountable for your training. So it's more than just a dog, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a mission. It's another mission. It's another job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to follow up on the motorcycle thing as well, Carlos did say it is a national association. So maybe we want to get Mr. Mcgee set up and see if maybe we can.
Yeah, if he wants to send me an email, I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a great thing if you can turn that ride. Let's turn that ride bigger.
Yeah.
See what you guys can do.
Sure.
Real quick, I want to go back. So my Boston Terrier, can't get him to be an emotional support dog.
You can actually. You
can
get him. Yeah.
Hank the flying dog?
Yeah. You can.
Can he?
You can actually turn any dog into an emotional support dog. And by the way, per our tax guy, that is a write-off.
Yeah.
Outside source. Sorry. That doesn't have anything to do with our subject. But emotional support dog, you can get your dog labeled
credit.
Yeah, and it is a tax write-off. Because then you can actually write off all their food, all their expenses for health. So it just
it's the only good thing that dog's good for.
That's another level to help out our veterans, right? If they can take some financial, gain from it, hey, that's a mental wear right there, is finances, right? So you never know.
Which, by the way, they're having a financial education course August 10th, sponsored by Northwestern Mutual.
Yeah, I'm actually
Northwestern Mutual. They're actually having.
So you're teaching that?
I'm teaching that one. Yeah, it's on how to invest.
Are you okay? Are you doing a Zoom or?
It'll be a Zoom class. Yeah, yeah. It's,
you have a pretty good maybe I have to send a link. Sounds like someone's interested.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, sure.
Especially in these times, right?
Yeah, Doge ain't looking too good right now. Doge.
Stay away from Bitcoin. Yeah. All right. So, man, you guys are.
It's never long enough.
No, it's
never long.
And you worry about when people are 3 hours away. And you don't want to keep them up all night. And I do love, like, in going through your Instagram, JM Graham.
Oh my God, such a good guy.
Yeah.
He's the senior instructor at our parachute course in Donellan.
Right. And he's getting his Mohawk.
It was a big deal.
Serious stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt, because you take that generation, right? Like a Mohawk. No, that's for, and then being on top of it, I'm sure he's an old military guy as well. Yes. And, just you broke all the molds and that shows, I don't think, unless you understand the generation, the person better.
Yes.
It sounds like by knowing who he is, him taking this step it just means a lot.
So he did it, and then every single person in the course got a Mohawk that night.
Oh, that is
in that bar room, and they all it was amazing. Yeah.
So do you every day now have to live the Mohawk? I know it's a little bit there. It's probably you got some growth.
Yep. I went on vacation 2 weeks ago and got a really strict Mohawk, and then I kind of just let it fly. But every event, I usually Mohawk it up pretty tightly.
Carlos,
my photo at work is me in a suit with a Mohawk. It's
perfect.
They look at me kind of funny in there, but they get what it's
rip
for.
it.
Carlos said, "Give you a rip it, you'll stay up all night."
Exactly. I used to drink those like water, Carlos, back in that and plastic coated Copenhagen back in Iraq.
What?
Yeah, they didn't have it in the cardboard box back then. It was all just plastic.
That doesn't sound. I mean, Copenhagen overall just doesn't sound. Man,
I do got a quick story on this. Driving the truck through the Bay Area, I said, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna get the pouches because it won't get all over, right? And I'm driving by BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit, the mass transit. Anyways, I'm driving. I'm like, man, why is it so hot in here? It's like 50 degrees. I was all sweating. I'm like, I can't really see straight, man. My head was spinning. I got the sweat. Like I pulled over, like, forget this.
Oh yeah,
it was brutal. It was brutal. Yeah. So again, go check it out. 22 Mohawks. Appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for joining us.
I do want to put it out there for anybody that's listening, man. If you have any connections with dogs to where we can help these guys out, I know They may be on the East Coast. Look at Carlos. They may be on the East Coast, but I know their mission's bigger than just, Massachusetts and the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to help bridge that gap, and we will be talking to American Veterans First.
Yeah, we'll get some stuff going,
seeing what they got, and if we can, because they do have. I mean, American Veterans First. They actually go out and feed some of the homeless veterans and things, and provide them clothing and help them get jobs too. There's just a group of volunteers that goes out every day and takes 3 meals a day out to them. So they got some good things going there. And then they have an amazing museum from World War I, uniforms, guns, all the way up through, Operation Enduring Freedom and Operation Iraqi Freedom. I mean, they have a whole display for that. It's there we go. There we go. So
okay.
our boy Jack Griffith, he's another Army infantryman right here. He ran for our state senate here in California, but he can he's also got apparently a hookup with Paws for Purple Hearts.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jack.
So that's what this is all about, man. It's that's what we love this show for, is we talk about, it's our give back. That's what we've said from the beginning. It's our give back. We didn't serve, but we're going to help people that serve, connect with people, and we get to talk to some beautiful people. Oh, here we go. CVMA Massachusetts does have a chapter out there.
Oh, great.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
So probably get Mike on that and get that going. So see, I mean, we don't have a huge following, not yet.
95 subscribers on YouTube, bro.
We're getting there. We're almost at that 100. And considering most of the time we were actually just a podcast, and now we moved to the YouTube live and going over to this format. So it's exciting to be able to, instead of just talking to you, getting to see you. Dave's living the Mohawk. Stacy will forgive you for not having the Mohawk today.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Well,
I can't wait to see it.
It's coming.
Oh, I'm loving it.
Well, I told Mike last week, I said, hey man, I'm bringing my clippers. I apologize because my hair is my hair. It grows back, right? And I had all set up, and then
when you wear a hat 90%.
And then my daughter was going to come over and do it, and she's going through all the beauty school thing, and I
got clippers. I mean, we could do this right now,
dude. Then let's do it. Then go get it. Let's do it. I have no problem.
Paparazzi, just let me get paparazzi to go grab.
It'll happen. Clippers. Let me just tell you this. It'll happen. It'll be posted. I'll be tagging you on it. Instagram live and all that good stuff. Yeah, right.
Paparazzi, can I get a Mohawk? There you go. See, she's awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Maybe we'll have to, except for I'll have a super white head.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just don't want to get sunburn. I'm very partial to the sun.
Sunblock.
Yeah, but I'm terrible at doing that. Like I'm terrible at doing it.
Terrible.
All right. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future and being able to connect with you guys, and hopefully we can make some more connections and stay in contact. So we'll be replaying the show through our social media.
I do have one more shout out just because I wrote it down on my notes. And I don't want to butcher her last name. So you help me out with Kelly. Is it Boucher?
Boucher.
Community outreach.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
It's Boucher or Boucher? It's Boucher, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's because I know some Boucher. I know some Bouchers. So
I wanted to give her a shout out. Yeah. Well, it was on my list there when I was going down. Then I jumped onto the Instagram one, and I was like, oh shoot, I didn't scroll all the way down, so didn't want to leave her.
And Carlos said he'll push their Instagram once he gets on there.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, Carlos.
Appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you.
Carlos been looking out. Jack, Carlos, Rachel, all looking out.
I love our
fans are awesome.
Once you're part of the Contagion Effect family, right? Welcome. Like I said, welcome to the Contagion
Now
Effect
you just got to move to Sunday night. Luckily, at 9 p.m., there's not too much football playing. I don't know if you're watching the Patriots or.
Yeah, typically when they're playing, we do. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll miss them out on it, but maybe they're bored. They want to listen to Contagion Effect or watch it. They can watch it.
I'm excited for it.
We do have one question we ask all of our guests. Well, we've missed a couple just because we got too excited. But We do have one question for you guys to kind of wrap things
Going
up.
back to old school contagion effect.
It's super serious, so be ready. And I didn't tell you about it, Stacy, because it's a secret. No. So when you guys are relaxing, day's over, you're sitting at home, what's your go-to drink? Diet Coke, huh? Diet Coke. All right. How about Stacy?
No, I'll usually just drink a beer, like an IPA or something.
Okay, you're an IPA
Happy
guy?
National IPA Day, by the way.
Yeah, it is National IPA Day as well as National White Wine Day.
Yeah.
So now you have an excuse.
I'm not a big drinker.
The one day.
Eric always and we were doing a lot of people from kind of the South too, so we were always writing like down. We would kind of try to guess, and we were always writing sweet tea or
Well,
and people get freaked out because they're like, we used to always have a beer, or I mean, we always have normally something, and I have, obviously it's White Wine Day, so we had white wine, and my wife and I just did a bunch of wine tasting this last weekend, so that's why we have some nice wine here, but we always guess, and tea, sweet teas.
But it was tea with sugar for a couple of times. And I'm like, hey, is it tea with sugar? Mike's like, sweet tea. I'm like,
called sweet tea.
No, it's tea with sugar, bro. Like, it's sweet tea.
Yeah.
I'm like,
so
okay.
what did you guys guess for us? That's what I want to know.
What do we
guess for us? You said you guessed before.
Oh, did we get? Did you write?
I didn't write down. I would have.
Oh, we slacked.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I didn't know the question was coming.
It always comes. No question.
I know.
We failed.
Yeah, I would have went with like a spritzer, like a Bartles and James
for Stacy.
For Stacy, yeah.
For Dave. That's who you're saying. It was for Dave.
Oh, definitely something with the umbrella. A little. I honestly was going to say like rum, like a rum,
rum and coke,
something like that.
Runner. Yeah, that is something I drink regularly.
So at the beginning of June, I went to I took the family for vacation, and we went went to Bahamas, Nassau. I drank so much. I mean, everything was rum, everything rum. It was amazing.
Okay, Dave.
It was really nice.
Do you guys have any cool breweries right by you? Because that's what would interest Eric.
Yeah, I think the Harpoon Brewery is right in Boston. Yeah, and then there's the Sam Adams Brewery.
The Sam Adams. That's the Mecca. That's our Sierra Nevada.
Right.
You
Chico,
gotta go to Chico. Yeah,
that's right. So Sierra Nevada was the first pale ale I ever drank.
Dude, Green Label is OG. And if they do get it back there during Christmas time, it's their seasonal. It's the red. It's called Celebration.
Yeah,
it's really, really hoppy, and some people are like, "Oh, bad." And that I love the Red Label Celebration during Christmas, absolutely. But yeah, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale Green Label is like it's the OG. It's the first one.
First one I've ever had. Yeah.
That's awesome. See, love that cross country.
Yeah,
that cross country.
But no, you can't beat a Sam Adams. You can't beat a Sam Adams.
Sam Adams. Well, don't they have a Christmas blend? Like, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. They come up with something.
Yeah, they got a whole pack.
Well, Sam Adams got a lot of
Their
stuff.
Pumpkin for Halloween is legit.
Is it? See,
oh my god, yeah. Now, I'm not a huge fan of it. But their pumpkin is so good.
I'll buy the 6-pack and I'll give 5 away. But I had one for the.
But don't. This is what this guy does. Is he's kind of like he'll go buy beers and then he'll give them to everybody to try. Like he's just like my one of my sons just turned 21. Well, now he's 22, but he was learning about beers and going through it all. And Eric would just constantly bring him stuff, different beers.
There's a beer for everyone.
He's a beer giver.
Yeah. Well, like I said, there's a beer for everyone. It may not be a lager, an IPA. I mean, 2 totally different beers.
Well, it's kind of like wine, beer,
for sure.
All the same, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all the same. Let's be clear, but.
And that concludes our alcoholic segment of the day. Thank you for your
all right. Well, you guys have been a true joy, and I hope it was as fun for you guys as it was for us. Definitely look forward to the future and being able to have a synergy on some other things. Sorry. So you were talking about the puppy, Stacy, and puppy's been good. My dogs are security. You can unplug the power cable.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
Oh, we see the. Oh, there it is. What kind of is that? Adobe or?
It's a mini pinch.
Yeah, mini pincher.
A mini pincher. Okay, I couldn't tell. See, let's see. There's one of mine. I can't tell. Awesome. Yeah, that's Lagatha. The girl. Oh, that's Lagatha. Yeah.
Lagatha.
So we have Ragnar and Lagatha. If you watch Vikings, so that's our female.
Come here.
Yeah, she'll.
Aww.
Hi.
Oh, that's Ragnar.
Oh.
Goofball.
Oh, hi, Ragnar.
That's Ragnar.
Hi.
That's our male. Here's the crazy.
I couldn't
female.
tell.
Yeah, there you go. So our male is like 120 pounds. Yeah, we love big dogs.
Thing's gonna be like 10 pounds max. That's my.
Yeah, limit. I know. It's a little Dobie that it doesn't go past 10 pounds.
That's right. Cool. Yeah.
All right. Well, man, if you guys want to hang out in the green room, you know, we can talk a little bit more. But man, I so appreciate your service, Dave. Stacy, appreciate everything both of you are doing with 22 Mohawks. Continue to work for our veterans.
Yeah. Tag us if you guys have anything going on. Tag us. I mean,
please. I know we're in different areas, but let's
someone out here
build that bridge and make this country a lot smaller for our veterans.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. Thanks, gents. We appreciate Mike. Eric.
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you,
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. So you can hang out if you want, or you're feel free to take off if you want to get going with your night since it is late. So
all right, guys.
Thank you again.
I'll probably go off to bed just because, you know.
Yeah. Well, late. It is 10. It is past 10. So
yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Guys. Have
Appreciate
a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Bye.
And hope to be talking in the future.
Definitely.
Same. Thank you so much, guys.
All righty.
Cute.
All right, man. Woo.
There's always that worry of if there's enough. And I was just thinking, is there going to be enough tape? There's too much. There's so much to unfold. You know what I'm saying?
I've just been constantly going through the Instagram. I know you had a bunch of notes, and it's just so many great things going on, and
interaction's outstanding. You know what I'm saying? The knowledge, just putting stuff out there, you know, getting connected. I mean, it's just what we do. It's just the fun part of having this platform that we use. Yes.
There we go. We made it through most of the show, and then all of a sudden now they have to get fired up. So.
Hey.
So with that,
deuces.
And we gotta, oh man. And we just have, so it's cool to look at the screen and see all the comments. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got caught up in it for a second. So, all right, we'll try it again. Deuces.